Welcome to the Soft Spoken Scientist channel. I appreciate you all for being here today. So today we're practicing the distributive property, but with slightly harder examples. Let's take it slow. So here we have A times the parenthesis of B plus C. And we multiply the outside number by every term inside. So we have A times B, it's AB. A times positive C is AC. Just distribute it. Now here, we are going to multiply -4 into all three terms as the first way, because there's a second way of doing it, which maybe you guys will like. So I have -4 times 2x. I know that a negative times a positive is a negative because I watched the other videos. And then that would get me -8x, right? Okay. Now I'm going to do -4 times -3. Well, I know a negative times a negative is a positive. Positive 12. See? And then I'm going to do -4 times +5, which is -20. Now, a lot of people get confused when they see 12 minus 20. They think, oh my gosh, what do I do? So the way I think of it, and it's better than a number line when you get to, like, you know, multiple digit numbers. You know 20 minus 12 is 8, right? So if I have 12 minus 20, if I have $12, right, and I owe the guy $20, that means that I'm in debt to him by $8. So by doing the positive integers way of subtraction, I'm able to do the more complex ones by just doing the opposite. All right? And another way you could think of it, we're sticking to distributive property, you guys, but I think this is pretty cool. You should know. If you have it'll help you do it, distributive property. If you have -20, -12 minus 20, that's another way of saying -20 plus 12. And then, if you're in debt to someone by $20, and then you gave them $12, well, guess what? You only owe them $8 now. You're not out of the woods yet, but you still owe them $8. You see what I mean? So the answer here is -8x minus 8. Okay? That's one way of approaching this. The other way that I think you guys might like, and it'll save you a heck of a lot of time, is when you see -3 plus 5, you can start by combining your like terms. You could say, okay, because they're within the parentheses, you know what I mean? So you could do a number line, right? Okay, so I'm at -3, and I'm becoming more positive. I'm adding 5, so I'm getting closer to 0, the positive numbers. So -1, 2, -1, 0, 1, 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I added 5, and I'm at 2. So now I have -4, 2x I just brought down, plus 2. Let me delete that. And now I'm going to distribute it now. -4 times 2x, -8, and just bring down the x. -4 times 2, it's a -8. See? Same answer as this one. Same. Okay. Next one, we're dealing with a fraction, which freaks a lot of people out. But remember, every single number is technically a fraction. Even if you don't see the denominator, it's over 1. You can write that in if you want to. So the way I see it is, what's 6 times 1? We multiply our numerators, we multiply our denominators. 6 times 1 is 6. 2 times 1 is 2. Bring down the x. What's 6 divided by 2? In other words, what's 2 times what is going to get me to 6? And the answer is 3. 3x. Okay, now -4 times 1 is -4. 1 times 2 is 2. -4 divided by 2 is -2. So the answer is 3x minus 2. So with this problem, we have a variable on the outside. And what we're going to do is we're going to multiply x times 5x. So we have 5 times x to the second. Now you may be saying, how did you get to the second? When you have exponents or variables, you have to add them, right? So we have 1 plus 1, which is 2. I brought down the x, and then 5 times the invisible 1 got me 5x squared, minus 2 times 1 is 2, but it's negative 2 times 1. Probably a better way of saying it. And I'm going to bring down the x, right? Whoop, brought it down. What's 1 plus 1? With the stars, what's 1 plus 1? 2. So I have 5x squared minus 2x squared. 3x squared is the final answer. Now here we have to do the same thing. What's 3 times x? 3x. That's it. If it's 50 times x, it's 50x, you know? 3 times negative 4. I have a negative 4 times a positive value, so that's going to give me a negative number. And I know 4 times 3 is 12. Plus, I'm going to bring that plus sign down. I have 2x. 2 times positive 6 is positive 12. So I have 3x plus 2x, which is 5x. Negative 12 plus 12 is 0. So you could say 5x plus 0 if you would like, but you don't even need to include the 0, because negative $12 plus $12, guess what? I don't owe anybody any more money. I owe nothing. So my answer is 5x. This is probably the classier, better way of saying it. Another problem. We have, we're going to distribute it one piece at a time. We have negative 3 times 2x, which is negative 6. Bring down the x. A negative times a negative is a positive. That's just a rule y'all are going to need to know. A negative 3 times a negative 7 is positive 21, because 7 times 3 is 21. Then you have negative 4x. A negative times a positive is a negative, minus 4, because 4 times 1 is 4. Let's combine our like terms. We have negative 6 minus 4, because the x is just going to be brought down. Just so here's the deal. When negative 6 minus 4 is awesome, because I love when I have a negative number minus another negative number, because it's literally addition. Like let me show you guys. So if I have 6 plus 4, what is that, you guys? 10, right? It's literally just, what's 6 plus 4? 10. Add the negative sign. If they're both negative, you can do that like that. Like 20 plus 10, 30, right? Negative 20 minus 10, negative 30. It's literally addition. Just add a minus sign to it. I love that. It's my favorite. Okay, so we have negative 10x. Then you got 21 minus 4. What's 21 minus 4? 17. So your answer here is negative 10x plus 17. All right. This one's a little bit of a doozy, so bear with me here. What's 5 times 2, you guys? 10x. Minus 15. Okay, I distributed everything. I don't need to distribute this because it's not in the parenthesis. So I'm going to say minus 4 equals 26. Now, before proceeding, I say to myself, I got some like terms going on here. Negative 15 minus 4, that is terribly written. Negative 15 minus 4 is a fancy way of saying 15 plus 4, but with a minus sign. So it's negative 19. So I have 10x minus 19 equals 26. I'm going to say to myself, how do I get x alone? Well, I would like to, you know, get rid of this negative 19. I want it all on the other side of the equal sign. So I'm going to add 19 on both sides, because I know if I owe someone $19, I need $19 to be at 0, to not owe anybody any more money. So that cancels out. Negative 19 plus 19, 0. I'm going to bring this guy down. I have 10x is equal to 45. Because 9 plus 6 is 15. I put a 5 right there. Carry the 1. You have to break 15 in half. You go to the denominator, you go on top. So I have 2 plus 1, which is 3. 3 plus 1, 4. I'm going to divide both sides by 10, because I don't want to know what 10x is. I got to know what x is for the problem. 10 divided by 10 is x, so you can say x, or, you know, 1x equals. And the answer is 4.5. And I just knew that from a calculator. So these are the same thing. You just move the digit to the decimal point to 1 point to the left. Now here, it's the same process. -2 times x, -2x, -2 plus 8, -16, plus, I got 4 times 3, which is 12. Bring the x with me. I got +3 minus 1, which is -3, equals 5. So I have -2x plus 12x, okay? So I know that that would put me at +10. And the reason I knew that is because I knew it's basically writing 12, +12, minus 2. You see how I kind of like reversed it, the order? I kept, everything's true. You can say +12, that's where that came from. Minus 2 equals +10, you see? Or you could do a number line, whatever you guys want to do. So I have 10x, and I have -16 minus 3, which is awesome. You just add them. You do 16 plus 3, which is 19, but add a negative sign to it. So 16 plus 3 is 19. -16 minus 3, because they're both negative numbers, it's -19. These are just ways to save yourself a headache. Is -19 equals 5. Now, I don't want to know I don't want all of that with my x. So I'm going to add 19 on both sides to get rid of it. So now I have 10x equals 24. I'm going to divide both sides by 10 to know what x is specifically equal to. And I got 2.4. And I've solved for x here just because like I didn't have something like to the, 2x to the second. That's a whole nother thing. Those are quadratic formulas, which I'll make a video on a bit later.